life, but one thing about me, as I shared last time, God has blessed me to be in a lot of different arenas. And I always believe this, and I'm going to go back, I'm going to hit a little black history when I'm talking about it. They told me intertwine a lot of black history things. One thing I believe in, every time we expose something new, we should bring it back to our people. We should always bring it back, and especially the young brothers. Some of y'all are more farther than we have gone. And don't never forget to bring that information back. That's one thing that happened in our communities over the years. A lot of information did get filtered now. And you're going to see what I'm talking about in a second here. But what we were talking about, me and Brother Bailey, was come in and just talk about financial literacy for the families. But I'm going to break it down on some of your brothers' level. I'm going to break it down, but I'm going to give you some history to go with it. And most of you know my background. I'm a branch manager at the Credit Union, one of the branch managers down there. I just got sort of in-house promotion again to take on some other duties with the Credit Union. I thank God to glory for that. And I'm also a math instructor. I'll tell you about go well over at Psych Tech. I've been over there for now about 10 years now. And I teach actually 2 different classes for them. I try to step away every year. Every year I want to step away, God tug at my heart. See, I'll help you peep out some more. And thank God for that. You know, I've been able to manipulate my schedule over there a little bit. But I'll be able to bring the information back. But what we're going to talk about today, and if you have any questions, this is open. Please ask any question. Y'all might have.
You have questions about it, how we got these numbers, please ask questions. One of the things we like to talk to people about, and I spent most somewhere, last time, I talked in the county jail for 20 years. I taught inmates there. We taught different places, a lot of different places down in the county jail. I believe in one thing, teaching people how to become a forward-thinking people. Let me explain to you when I say forward-thinking. I'm not just thinking of living for today. I'm thinking about tomorrow, the next 5 years, the next 20 years. That's what I'm thinking about. Forward-thinking people, they don't stand still. I'm going to give you an idea of a person who stands still, what it looks like. And I'm not down these people. I'm not talking against them. It's a good example of what it is to stand still. You ever seen somebody, most of y'all seen this before, ride with your parents or on the street, see somebody on the corner with a sign, begging for money. That's not the people who stand still. They're not moving in like that. They're just standing still. Forward-thinking people always move. They're always thinking about the next day, the next move. And the way we become a forward-thinking person, we have to change the mindset on what society says about people in general. And now, the position I'm in, I see both sides of it. And I do a lot of counseling in my job, but I see both sides of everything. I wrote myself some notes down. I'm going to hit a few things. First, the way I changed my mindset, I'm going to deal with money. And y'all actually, especially young guys, if you have questions, please ask me these questions. But I'm going to show some examples and stuff about money, for credit. Why do I need it? Why do people, some of you probably never heard of credit before. Why do I need credit? You've heard of it. Why do I need people to just deal with money, think about money, about finance? You'd be surprised how much that's going to actually have, how much influence it's going to have in your life. Y'all in school right now, you take a math class in school. You'd be surprised if you can understand the concept of math.
How far it takes you in life. I ain't talking about becoming a mathematician. If you can understand the concept of math. All math does is to help you be a good problem solver in life. That's all it is. If you really understand the process of math, if you understand that, you can solve any problem in life, any problem coming your way. All a math teacher do is throw you in the middle of the problem to you to work your way out of it. That's all we do to you. When we give you a problem, we say, come up with a solution to this. All we want to see is you can take one step at a time. That's all we want to see. Can you start here and work your way all the way over there? If you can do that, you solve every problem that can come your way in life. Math makes you stop and come and think first. That's all it does. It makes you slow down and think about your next move. That's all it does. That's all we do to you. I tell people, if you just slow down, do like the Chinese and the Africans do. They take the pencils and they put them on the table. They don't even touch that pencil until they know what their next move is on that math problem. I teach my students the same way. And then you apply that same principle to life. Dealing with even with money, when we deal with money. Now, I'm gonna give you some facts real quick. Most of the other brothers, we know about the civil rights era. And when, we just come from Black History Month, some of y'all probably heard of the civil rights, about Dr. Martin Luther King and all those guys. In the 1960s, the black spending power, now when I say spending power, you take all the blacks in America, the spending power was $30 billion a year. That was the spending power of all blacks in the 1960s. You know what it is today? $1.4 trillion. That's the spending power that we have as a people. And you say, well, hold up, I don't see that. The biggest problem we don't see it don't stay in our communities. The average dollar stay in the black community for 6 hours. And it's gone. This is how we're viewed today in America. We're viewed as consumers only, people who spend money. We're not viewed as people of enterprise, people who can manage money and make money. We're not viewed as that. When I was in grad school, we studied this when I did global finance and global business. Wake Forest teach this year round. I first learned from one of my friends at Wake Forest. Then when I went to grad school, I learned it. Every business on this, every corporation on this globe, in the world, before they launch a new product, they study one thing. They study the spending habits of black people. They come and study us. What they do, the reason they study us, because they figure we'll spend money and not think about it. We think about it after we have thinking money. That's why they study us. I'm going to show you a good example. Now, the young guys, y'all will relate to it right here. Nike Corporation, they do it to us at least once a year. When they unleash a new line of what shoes everybody like to wear, they wait on every year. Jordan. When they unleash a new line of Jordan, you see people won't pay their bills. They'll call in sick at work. They won't go to school, they'll do anything they can to get in line and get a ticket to go buy some Jordan. Nike do it once a year to the black community. They make billions of dollars in about 2 weeks. And most of them they pull it from the black community. Now, I got a question. And y'all, I want you young guys, answer this question for me. Just think about it. How much value or how much does it add to a person's life when they put those shoes on? Does it make their life any better? No. No, exactly right. It does not. Nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with having them, but it doesn't add any value to their life. But what if I took, $200, $300 now?
Good Lord, who knows?
Put it in a savings account. If I put that money in the bank. This is a true test that God did with his son. His son wanted a pair of shoes. This was they were $100 in. This is some years ago. He put his son to the test. He said, I tell you what, we're not going to buy those shoes. But what we're going to do, I'm going to open up a savings account. We're going to put the money in there. He said, I'm going to go buy you a pair of knockoff shoes. When those shoes wear out, I want you to come back and look at your savings account and see how much money you got in the savings account. He was showing him really how to basically buy what you need, don't really buy what you want. And not only that, how to actually save money. The money will continue to stay in his account, and when something, an emergency come up, anything like that, he was showing his son really he didn't need those shoes unless he could afford to buy them. But I'm just going to hit a few facts. Some of this I'm going to jump over. I don't want to go too far with the with some of this. And I'm going to talk about some things. I'm not being racial, but I'm going to compare some black and white. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to compare some black and white.
Keep it real.
In our communities, it's been noted, and I see it a lot even where I work at. The majority of, it's just a decline when it comes to blacks versus whites who actually have a banking account, who actually bank somewhere, or have an account with a financial institution or something like that. Who would save money? It's like 21.7% of people, of blacks in America that don't even bank nowhere. I'm talking about adults now, who don't bank anywhere. All right, this is the problem with that. If I go to work for just about any company now, the one thing I gotta have is an account somewhere. Because they don't cut paper checks no more. I gotta have somewhere set up for direct deposit. Now, I'm gonna show you how they're getting over on people. I don't know, you probably haven't seen this, but they do it, especially during tax season. But we see a lot of fast food restaurants will do this now. They put, instead of giving them a paper check, if I don't have an account somewhere, they put my money on a little card. But they charge me for having that card. I have to pay a fee just to receive my own money. And go back to what I'm saying. The money come in our community and they go right back out. There's something called lack of knowledge. If I don't know, people can always deceive me. And the young guys, y'all really remember that, especially when you come to school. You're going to learn a lot in school. You learn a lot right now in school. Education is very, very, very important. It's going to help you in all these arenas in life. Especially when you're out, when y'all come out of high school and get into college. Then life is going to take off and go so fast on you. But it's going to be what you have learned prior that's going to actually carry you through. And you know, a lot of this probably going over your head right now, but if you can just get the knowledge in school and know how to actually slow down and understand and read stuff, you'll see what I'm talking about. Give you a good example. All right, this is I'm gonna say this without putting the person's name into it. Somebody banked with us. Somebody I had to counsel last year. She has a car loan with us. But she went to one of these places called Rent the Roll or something like that, where you buy rims and wheels. But you pay them once a week. When she came to my office, she was upset because she didn't have the finances to pay her bills. And I broke down the whole profile. I wrote down everything. I said, what about this Rent the Roll place? And when I did the math for her, she would have paid them over $7,000 when she get through paying for those wheels and tires. And I asked her one question. I said, if you had $7,000 in your bank account right now, what would you do with it? And I was showing her, I said, really, and I said the sad thing about it, and I kind of use reverse psychology to make people think. Think about it, all y'all have been in a car before. If I put these wheels on my car, I'm not against anybody putting wheels in their car, but as long as you can afford it. This is what I was trying to show her. This one thing. You can't even see the wheels. You inside driving. You buying the wheels for other people to see your car. You're trying to please other people. And you going in debt every week. You can't even pay your light bill, your gas bill. This is what I was showing her. I said, we can become a forward-thinking people and think about, first, let me make my money work for me. Let me make education work for me. And that's all I really do at work and at school. I just teach people how to make our money work for us. Going back to the stat I gave a stat. In the 1960s, our spending worth for all blacks in America was $30 billion. Today is 1.4 trillion. You know how much money that is a month? That the spending power of blacks in America, $116 billion a month. But society has found a way to condition our minds to make us think we got to spend every dime coming out of our pocket. They come our way, we got to spend it and spend it and spend it. That's living for today. That's not even living for tomorrow. Look, we got to spend. You got to spend money to live. But what I really like to show people is this right here. If we're smart with things, if we just take our time and do and plan for the future, a lot of these ills will need to come our way. One of the things that we always show people is this right here. And going back to what I said about filtering the information down. That was a problem that came once, and I don't know when it happened, but there were a lot of people in our communities who actually worked in these arenas who didn't bring the information back, or there were things that were set up that would kept information from coming back. Yeah, quick example, a real quick example. I'm going to show you a myth that's out there. Now, I had to go back and learn the truth about it myself, because I listened to the wrong side of it, and I started repeating. I'm going to ask you a question. And I'm going to show you how information is blocked in our communities. What's the most? Are there more black men in prison or more black men in college that you have heard? Prison. There are 4 times as many black men in college than there are in prison today.
But they got us thinking.
Thank you, brother. They got us thinking that most of the black men go to prison. There are 4 times as many black men in college today than there are in prison. When we were, when brother sat down, matter of fact, he came to my office and showed me that. He showed me how to get the information. He set me down. He said, look at this. He said, people had us thinking this all this time. They would tell us stuff, put it on the media, and make us think that there are more black men in prison than there are college. Then we looked at it as actually 4 times as many in college than there are in prison. Society, when I was talking about being forward thinking and changing our mindset, sometimes they'll shape your mind for you. I'm gonna show you one area, and this is one that's really hurting a lot of people, especially a lot of people, period, but especially people of color. Now, the young guys, y'all hadn't entered this arena yet, but one day you're gonna enter it. Is establishing credit for yourself. You know, probably some of you high school guys probably heard of it before. How, you gotta have good credit already. You heard people say you gotta have good credit, keep good credit. That's all it is. Credit just basically show how much can I trust you. That's all it really is. You boil it down. But it goes further than just applying for a loan anymore. My credit report has my credit score and my report in it. It shows how trustworthy I am on anything. The way, matter of fact, I got to do it this week. I got to interview some more people for a job this week. The way we weed people out when we come down to maybe 2 or 3 finalists, we look at their credit reports. Jobs now. You young guys, y'all going to enter this. When y'all go into the work arena, they're going to look at your credit report before they actually hire you. And you say, well, what's that for? Why do they even look at my credit report? It shows if I enter into a contractual agreement with this brother here, did I keep it? All this shows is, do I keep my word? Can you trust me? That's all it does. That's all. They're not worried about who I paid, who I didn't pay. They want to know if this brother couldn't trust me, he can't trust me. Those little small things are what people don't know that we try to bring back and show people what's going on. Also, for housing, we understand about the housing side. Now they're pulling credit reports for college loans, for student loans. But most of you don't fall into that. The biggest fall we've seen with that is, it's sad that it's still going on today. Parents are using kids' names and stuff like that out there. That actually still going on today. But also, and all this wraps into finance. Most people don't think finances are really important in life anymore. But we're going to make money one day. When we make money, what do we do with it? That's the biggest issue right there. What do we do with it? Now, the young guys and young brothers, y'all ain't. Remember, every time you go to a math class, it's preparing you really for the future. That's all it's doing. And all your classes are, especially math, it's preparing you for the future. Give a real quick example of what I'm talking about. I had a guy walk in my office 2 years ago. Now, most of you know, if you're from Winston, you know where Haynes Mall Boulevard is. It's a car lot out there called CarMax. Hope I'm about to work there. Because this is a true story. He wanted me to finance a Camaro for him. The car was $21,000, but he only made $9 an hour. I told him, I said, on paper, you cannot afford this car. But he qualified. He had a good credit score. He qualified for a rate of 3.5 interest rate. But he got upset at me. He didn't want to listen to my advice. I said, get you something to get you back and forth to work till you make more money. He didn't want to hear it. And they already had the call for price. The car was on worth $21,000. Well, I was going to finance $21,000 because all it was worth. They were trying to sell a car for $24,000. He didn't listen to me, went all the way out there and let them finance the car for him. It was already $3,000 over value. But they financed him, and I'm sure what I mean by interest rate. Well, the interest rate means how much it costs you to borrow money. Y'all gonna have to borrow money one day. 3.5 means for every dollar they pay 3 cents on the dollar back. That's all it is. If you loan me $100 and you say a 3% rate, I pay you $130 back. That's all that means. That's all that means now. But he went out there, they financed the car, they got him financed at 25% interest rate. I did the math for him, and I told him, I said, I'm going to show you where you messed up. I told him, I said, you got a smartphone on here. It has a calculator on it. You should have pulled it out and done the math right then. They financed him for 6 years at $575 a month. I did the math. When he get through paying for that car in 6 years, he would have paid them $47,000 back for a $24,000 car. Now you see what we're talking about when it comes to just common sense and numbers. You learn this in school right now. I know the math that y'all do in school. You learn how to do this right now. All this is going to help you further along in life. All it is basically going to show you how to have the power and how to have the ability to go out there and say, look, I'm gonna actually be in charge of my own destiny right now. I'm not gonna let society mess with my head, tell me this and that about who I am, who I'm not, or what I can and what I cannot afford. This is what I give you a good example when I'm talking about mindset. Right now, I'm on the board right now. One of the boards for Cleveland projects with the housing authority. They get ready to redo this whole community behind us. They got a grant ruling right now. They get ready to get a $30 million government grant. I'm sure what I mean by changing the mindset. But the condition for the grant, I'm on a planning committee. They got a planning committee, about 200 of us on this committee. I'm on what's called the education committee. And then I'm on the separate financial committee. But the education committee is this right here. We have to help change the mindset of the people right here behind us. We got to change their mindset about education right now. That's what we're charged with. We got to come up with a program to change their whole mindset about education. But not just the parents. They said the children too. This is the federal government. They said before they get that grant, we got to see you got something in place to change their mindset. They showed us 2 communities. One was in Seattle, Washington, one was one was Portland, Oregon, and one was San Antonio, Texas. They showed us 2 communities that got the grant. And we had to look at what they did. And this is the biggest problem that they got. And people that we speak with, when we have these meetings, sometimes we meet over here, and the brothers to the brothers here, anybody that want to come to one of those meetings, let me know. Please, you. They want the community input in these meetings. We got most of the community that we have in these meetings. You ever want to come to a meeting, let me know. And I'll let you come, you can come on in and meet with us. And this is what they say. And I'm being real with this. My first day there, when they asked me to come over to that committee, the engineer, one of the engineers from the housing authority pulled me to the side. It's a white gentleman. This is what he said. He said, Mr. Miller, thank you for coming. Because they invited me and my CEO from the pay union to come to join this committee. And they said, we know the work that y'all did downtown. We did the financial workshops for them downtown. He pulled me to the side, took me to and showed me a map of East Winston, what they get ready to do to East Winston. They're going to do it from Martin Luther King all the way up to 25th Street. They're going to revamp this whole thing. You see they're going to put up one new apartment complex now. They got a new one on 12th, which is 12th in Cleveland. They're doing that right now. That's what Cleveland project will look like. They're going to look like that. But this is what he told me. He said, we can't make the mistake we made in Hope 6. Hope 6 is what they did when they redone Happy Hill Gardens and Kimberly Project. I said, and I knew what he was talking about. I wanted to hear it out of his mouth. I said, what mistake was that? He said, we can't move the same people back in. I said, elaborate a little further. He said, we didn't change their mindset. They had the same mentality, so we put them back in and we're back to normal. So the government is doing this right now. If they don't see people who are changing their mindsets, they're going to pull all the funding away from them. They're not even going to release no more money to them. That's why they have to get these. That's what we're doing right now. That's why I always talk about people changing their mindset. And I'm gonna show you how you develop a mindset. And I want y'all to give me some feedback. Some of the young girls, give me feedback. I want you to give me some feedback on this. All right. First of all, question. Now, this is just for the young brothers, my young brothers here. And just be real with us in here. Be real with me. What have you heard so far, really, about what society say about a black man? I used to ask a question about students a lot when I taught public school. What's one of the things that we heard, what society really say about a black man?
Criminal.
Criminals?
Uneducated.
Uneducated?
Lazy.
Lazy?
Living either in or below poverty.
In or below poverty? Right. And that's what they tell us. What they do, they'll take a few true cases and try to make a blanket statement of the whole race on us. That's what they've done. My mindset is, well, I don't see brothers like that. I don't see a lot of people like that. So my mindset is, no, I don't accept that. It's true for a smaller class, but it's not true for everybody. Because this is what it is, right here. When I talk to people, they always say, well, look, well, a matter of fact, my last year teaching public school, I used to get guys together like y'all all the time and just talk to them. Most of my black students. And I would talk to them. And guy asked me a question. He said, Mr. Miller, have you ever been in jail before? I told him no. I said, I go down there and teach classes every week. That's it. He looked at me dead in my eye and he said, Mr. Miller, you lying. He was 12 years old. He said, every black man go to jail. That's what I'm talking about, a mindset. He already at 12 thought every black man had to go to jail at least once in their life. Now, don't let people put a negative mindset in you. We can be about life, about finance, about money, about anything. We see this too much at the credit union. We serve right now close to 12,000 members. We want these smaller credit unions, but we serve about 12,000 members, account holders there. But when I talk with some of them, they have that negative mindset. And the mindset they have is, really, why should I save money? This is what they all, I get this so much right here. They always tell me, you only live once. And I ask them, the next question I ask them, I said, what if you wake up tomorrow? What if you wake up the next day? You don't have nothing to fall back on. You'd be surprised. And most of you won't, this won't really sink in until you start working. Till you go to work. Go to college first, finish school, go to college, then you can see what I'm talking about. Well, make sure you go to college or military, either one. But the mindset that we have seen that has been painted here, a lot of our people, is that basically I have to accept what society say about me. And this is what we always go back and teach. No, you don't have to accept that. And I say, if you don't believe me, look at the White House. Look who's in that White House right now. So we don't have to accept that. Most of that Brother Bailey and Pastor Bachelor, yeah. You've been in office. You've been in office before. They'll tell you, I got one picture, I keep them on. They tried to make me take the picture down when I first put it up. The white people I work with tried to make me take it down. I got a picture of Barack Obama in my office. They tried their best to get me to take that picture down. You know what my response to them was? That's your president. I'm leaving it up. You know, they tried their best to make me, they tried everything they could to get me to take that picture down. I said, no way. I am not taking it down. Because that was success. That's all it was. That showed, I keep it for people who come in my office. That's hope that no matter what people say about you in society, you can do. No matter what they say, you cannot do. And I want to get a lot of everything, but really I don't want to go too far ahead with some of the financial stuff. I always jot down notes for myself, really. But one of the things I want to talk about is seeking the right advice. When we, then I'll be done here. But if you have any questions, please ask me any questions. It don't have to be about this here. Because I'm involved in so many different arenas around here. But ask for the right advice all the time. Don't always seek advice from people who are in the same area you're in. Always seek advice from somebody who's either going higher or being where you want to go. Always do that. Education, I talk about that, it's very, 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 very important. Especially when it's related to things of life. And money is one of those things. Finance is one of those things. Job, working is one of those things. Right now, in Winston-Salem, this is the other map they showed me my first day over there at the committee. Where I work at, they doing a lot of work down there where I work at. Well, you see all how they tore the streets up down there. But they didn't tell people for the longest what they were doing back then. Baptist Hospital bought all the land up the street from us. And always we knew it because the no trespassing sign had no Baptist on the bottom, had the logo on it. Then the guy that meeting showed me what it was. They get ready to bring a research park here. They already bought one of the Runners' old factories. It's going to be the headquarters of it downtown. And they're going back down Salem Avenue with it. They got one building already up. When they finish this research park, it's going to generate as many as 10,000 jobs. But the first thing that they told us was this right here. As a matter of fact, most of you remember, most brothers here, they remember Kay Hagan. She used to be a senator. Kay Hagan told one of my other friends when she was here. She looked at him. He's a